Right now, cleanup is underway in parts of Wisconsin after historic rainfall and flooding from over the weekend.
And is there any more rain in the forecast for this very wet southern Wisconsin? We'll take a look in just a few minutes.
Plus, we hear from the Wisconsin DNR and how the state deploys resources during severe weather events like what we saw over the weekend. And we welcome you to News 3 Now at 6. Good evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Eric Franke.
And I'm Sarah Carlson.
We begin with that historic flooding continuing to impact parts of Wisconsin after heavy rain fell in many areas across the state.
There was so much rain in the Badger State on Saturday that it could mark a new state record. One city rain gauge measured more than a foot of rain in 24 hours.
One city rain gauge, as we mentioned, with all that rain and that measurement, if confirmed now by forecasters, that would break the previous state record of just under 12 inches. That was set way back in 1946. Milwaukee County also declaring a state of emergency Sunday as the Milwaukee River crested at a record of more than 11 feet. Milwaukee's fire department performing dozens of water rescues. Meanwhile, in our area, south central Wisconsin, people are cleaning up after also getting heavy rain and flooding on Sunday.
And we have team weather coverage here in the studio, also out in the field. Let's start with News 3 Now's Jalen Banks with how Dane County Emergency Management is preparing for more severe weather events like this. Hi, Jalen.
Sarah and Eric, over the last few hours, it's been well documented how all the heavy rain that we received in southern Wisconsin led to flash floods, devastating many cars, homes, businesses, you name it. I had the chance to speak with the Dane County Emergency Management team on their preparedness as we continue to see more severe weather events such as the ones over the weekend. Over the weekend, floods and heavy rain tore through southern Wisconsin, leaving parts of our viewing area with over half a foot of rain in the last 72 hours. And meteorologist Blaise Keller of our weather team says recent warm air conditions is what contributed to the heavy rainfall.
At times, the precipitable water, which is a tool we use as meteorologists to see, essentially, if you were to wring out the atmosphere like a wet towel, how much water would fall from the atmosphere? And at times, it was 2 inches over all of southern Wisconsin.
And what we saw is consistent with recent data. The city of Madison breaking its daily rainfall record from 1887 on August 10th by nearly half an inch. According to climatecentral.org, the upper Midwest has seen a 45% increase in heavier downpours between 1958 and 2021. If this trend continues, chances are we'll see rain events such as the ones from over the weekend more often. I had the chance to speak with the Dane County Emergency Management team on what their steps are after these rainy 72 hours.
Months. And so really, we're working as much as we can in order to ensure that our local partners, being municipalities, other county departments, police and fire, have the resources that they need in order to respond should there be some sort of incident in their community.
And Beckett says the work is nonstop for their department.
So emergency management really kind of works on a constant cycle where we are either responding, reviewing, and working on recovery, or we're planning towards the future and working to mitigate risks.
Now, the Dane County Emergency Management team shares with me that in the coming days, they'll be sending some of their staff out to Milwaukee County and Milwaukee to help them assess the damage that they had received over the weekend from the flash floods. Now, reporting in Fitchburg, Jalen Banks, News 3 Now.
All right, Jalen, thank you. Let's go to meteorologist Blaise Keller right now for a look at our first warn forecast. Hi, Blaise.
Hello, and as I mentioned, more rain is in the forecast for central and southern Wisconsin this evening through Tuesday night. But the good news is, folks, it's not looking to be at that excessive level like what we saw over this past weekend. So Future Track is going to bring in some scattered shower and thunderstorm chances as we go into the midnight hour through early Tuesday morning. But notice a lot of southeastern Wisconsin is underneath that threat for the heavy rain as we go overnight into Tuesday. That's not to say that folks further south and west won't see rain, but in terms of maybe more rainfall or hit a couple of times, southeastern Wisconsin is likely going to be experiencing that. A cold front moves through as we look to end the afternoon hours on Tuesday. That is going to push all of this moisture, all of this rain chance off towards the east. So we will start to dry out as we go later Tuesday night and remain dry for Wednesday and Thursday. In terms of how much rain we could see between now and Wednesday afternoon, an additional half an inch to an inch of rain for anybody in the blue. Again, while it's not excessive, we're coming off of a very wet 72 hours, so even these little bits of rain could lead to minor flooding in some low-lying areas or places that are still dealing with standing water. So keep that in mind, and again, never cross a flooded area, turn around, don't drown. Here is a look at just how much rain has fallen over the last 72 hours. The oranges, the dark reds indicating about 5 inches of rain, if not more, and obviously towards Milwaukee, you're seeing it on your screen. Those yellows indicating at least a foot of estimated rainfall falling over the weekend. So after Wednesday and Thursday, do we see any more rain chances return to southern Wisconsin? We'll track that out in the full forecast.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Blaze. Well, the storms across Wisconsin drew response from multiple state agencies.
And that included the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources. Our political reporter Will Keneally explains how they helped many residents who were stranded by this flooding. Will?
We might expect a normal day for a DNR field warden to be out checking fishing licenses on the water, but it's exactly that boating expertise which comes into play with a major flooding incident like this.
I've been with the Department of Natural Resources for just a little bit over 12 years, and I have never seen anything like this happen.
The Milwaukee flooding this weekend was no joke. Over 2 days, the area saw more than a foot of rain. If we use an average 10-to-1 ratio that meteorologists use to compare this to snow, Milwaukee got the equivalent of 120 inches. If the city sees an average of 4 feet of snow a winter, that's like 2.5 winters worth of snow all in one weekend.
But for this kind of sheer amount of rainfall that we received in a short amount of time, I've never seen anything like it.
That's when some of those local DNR wardens stepped in to assist local fire departments in those rescue efforts.
In situations like it was on Saturday with the waters rising and the swift currents and the needs from citizens that are stranded above cars, on top of cars, or in their houses just to get to safety.
After helping out over the weekend, many of the wardens returned to their day jobs, but they remain ready to help in case of more storms.
If the call does come in, we don't put our gear up and after we're done assisting and kind of forget about it. We're still ready. We're prepared if things do ramp up again.
Now, in addition to the DNR, the Wisconsin National Guard provided some assistance to the Milwaukee area as well. Now, Governor Evers has said on Sunday that he has remained in contact with local officials to provide them that state assistance.